How are y'all? Happy Thursday. Um, I just finished watching a press conference for the senator that covers the Uvalde area. Hey, Irvin. Hey, Shalma. Hey, Amber. Um, like the title says, y'all, different story, different day, right? Different story, different day. Hey, Sophie. Hey, Candy Kisses. I have read so here. Let me start with this. I have read several places, and this is why I'm going to keep talking about this. I have read several places from community members and on Reddit, Facebook, everything that uh, they know that, hey, Boston, that the media is going to stop soon. Hey, Delaney, and they're going to go away. It's been one dad said it's been 7 days now. People are tired of the carnage and the bad stories, and people are going to start to go away and stop talking about us. And well, Candy, hey BL, Candy Kisses, please know your limits, okay? If you're having nightmares, sister, it's okay to stop for a little bit. Um, don't do that to yourself. Know your boundaries. Um, so he said that media is going to go away, all of that, and then they're going to get forgotten again. Um, I've heard reporters say that some media's already started to pull out. There was a shooting last night in Oklahoma for a 45-year-old guy, 5 people, I believe, killed. It's freaking nonsense. The guy bought the gun yesterday. Don't even get me started there. But I can't stop talking about this. I can't. I just can't until something is done for these people who have been ignored and ignored and ignored. And they've had problems for a long time. I know Candy Kisses, but they need voices right now. Not voices a creator, like voices in okay, I mean if she wants to, but I mean voices in general. Um, so I can't stop talking about it. Um, so the senator just got done with the updates, right? Like I said, different story, different day. He has demanded and in hopes that we will have a report, an official report by tomorrow. That is his hope, and that it will be that not only will he have it, but that they will come out and um, get what is going on with my hair and all of us. Hey, Brandy, I got your thing. Um, I'll watch it after this, and all of us are updated on the report so far. So let's talk about what's changed. Let's just do this, okay? Well, first, yeah, okay. Hold on. So this is Robb Elementary, right? So this is one building. What I didn't understand is there's two buildings. There's an old building and a new building. They are attached to the best of my knowledge. Hey, Boots Mama. But I believe the original building, the rooms were on the outside, as you can see. So there are still people there, obviously. You can't really see this one. I'm sorry about this, but this would be the cafeteria. Yeah, Candy Kisses probably better not to then. Um, this is the classroom the that it took place. This is way in the corner. Many of these kids, I believe, 3 of them I know for sure survived. Uh, so I don't necessarily know how that happened unless he didn't turn that way or they all hid under a table. Um, these children did not. Okay. I want you to take a look at this picture. This picture is their award ceremony. Can I get it any bigger? I don't think so. Hey, essay. Um, this picture right here, y'all, and I meant what I said on my community post, was 1 hour before evil entered that school. Hey, Diana. Diana and Amber and all you guys that have been listening to my nonstop messages, like, of things we find. Most of these kids were killed. He is in the hospital still, I believe in stable condition now. Um, and their parents somewhere out here, their classmates, friends. 1 hour. If you can't look at this picture and allow it to change your perspective of the importance of things, then I don't know what will. Because to see these children in the last hour of their life, I know, Boston, is surreal. Things can change in an instant. And we spend a lot of time on here fighting over some stupid stuff. I know it might not seem stupid to you. I get it. It's your life, right? But those kids stood up in an award ceremony not knowing that an hour later their life was over. So, I mean, do with that with you will, but you know what? If that doesn't change your perspective on the importance of things, then I don't know what it's going to take for you. And not any of you in particular. I'm saying in general. I'm pretty mad. I'm pretty mad. I'm pretty mad because what is with this piece of my hair? It's so distracting. I'm pretty mad today because I'm frustrated and the senator was frustrated and oh, come on, garbage man. You know my ADD isn't going to allow me to focus. Okay, it changes you. Exactly, Shalma. So, let's talk about what the senator said. No, let's go to that last. Let's go to the rest of it first. Exactly. Okay, Kim Kardashian's asking for temporary prison release for the today she did for the father of Uvalde victims. Kim, you're nobody to this case. First and second, her funeral is today. So good try. Nice media. Are you kidding me? Yeah, whatever. All right. So let me go to so the I didn't. The only he did go. I'll get there, Diana. He did. I know. So, from my understanding, she was shot. They were shot through the door, but I'm not sure about that yet. So, what we know is that recently we're gonna watch a video of Chloe, um, Eva or Eva, Remy. Hey, Remy. Oh, that Morel, Mireles. I don't know how to say it, Morales or whatever. Her husband, from my understanding, according to CNN, was the resource officer. He will never ever forget that. He will never. I mean, that I don't know that Remy yet. He was on the phone to her when she was dying. She told him she was dying. According to CNN, CNN reporting that Eva, or I can't say, Morales, one of the murder teachers who was on the phone with her husband, who is a member of the Vivaldi police and the school resource officer. She informed him that he was dying. He had to be restrained by multiple officers as he struggled to reach her. But they let an off-duty border patrol come in, and everyone thinking he's a hero, that town's got something else to say about that. Because you know what? It's been revealed via him that yes, he did go into school, and yes, he did get his wife and his daughter out. And to say I wouldn't would be silly because I would get my family out. And yes, they got other children to safety by opening the classroom doors with officers. Remy, the resource officer, was the husband of the teacher who was killed, one of the teachers that was killed. And no, he was not allowed in. He was held back by several officers. The off duty Border Patrol is not the one that shot the shooter. And he is not well esteemed right now in that community. Yes, he did let his wife was already at the funeral home by the time he got there. Yes, he did let his daughter out, and like I said, I can't say I wouldn't. But I do know that he and officers opened classroom doors and released kids. It is alleged, and I would say it's probably true at this point, but in my opinion, that many of them let their kids' classrooms out. To a point, y'all, I understand. Well, yes, Remy, I would have gotten my kid for sure. I mean, I think we all would have. Come on. Yeah, I mean, that was his intention of going in. We get it. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the other officers. Apparently, Brandy, apparently, and that's via his interview and via that everyone is hailing him a hero. And I'm not saying that getting the other kids out wasn't important and that he wasn't a hero, but let's be real right now. There are no heroes in this situation. The heroes are the parents. The heroes are the lady who got tased, cuffed, uncuffed, and ran in the building to get her kids. The parents are the heroes. The heroes in this situation is the little girl who called 5 times. And you want to know what else? The hero in this situation is the little girl who called 5 times only to now find out, based on 10 minutes ago, that her calls weren't even relayed to the officer in command. Yeah, that was just confirmed. The calls were relayed to somebody in the PD, not in the UCISD, but were never relayed. Now, there's question of whether he had his radio on or not. On him or not, the chief of police. No, Brandy, he's not the one that shot the parents. So that's where everybody's getting mixed up. The media saw a good story and ran with that. He's not. And he is not well liked right now within the town. Yeah, Remy. So the senator who was extremely upset, clearly, visibly upset, said that he cannot say that the chief in command did not know, did not overhear it or get word of these calls, but the calls went through the PD because that's where the 911 calls go through. I don't think that ever happened, Brandy. I've not heard that at all. I don't know that he ever came in sight of the, because there's two buildings, and I'm wondering if he was in the whole different building. Um, but what this senator received was confirmation from, I think it's state SA, because he said he covers Uvalde. That the PD has not told them yet who in the PD received that dispatch. Um, but it was not told to the commanding officer. Again, whether he knew, I don't know. But what I do know is he did not take the original call. Somebody in PD did. The 5 calls from the little girl. Um, Texas is flawed in its dispatch. I don't know how it works in other states. I don't even know how it works in New York, but he said that Texas is flawed in the dispatch system as far as all the dispatch doesn't go to all the things, like they all go to different channels and different systems. They have 3 different providers and stuff like that, so it gets really hairy when it comes to that. He also confirmed, exactly, true crime. Who set it up here? Somebody set it up here. No one, hey, just Carrie, and I'm going to say this with confidence. This is my opinion. There's not one hero in this situation other than those kids and those parents. Those parents for trying to get in. We've all seen them try to get in, and those babies and teachers. That's it. That's it. Take it from the top. Resource cop, Wi-Fi. Yep. Phone not allowed in on site. Yep. No info. Yep. Nope. Nope. You're right. The border patrol agent didn't necessarily do wrong. What the town is having issues with is there's a lot of funds being raised for him and hailing him a hero. And these parents are saying, wait, he got in because of his badge. He got in because he of his badge. Went and got to save his kids, and we pleaded to go in, and we didn't get to go in, and we got tased and peppered sprays, and now he's being hailed a hero when he wasn't the one to shoot him, and collecting funds when he has a over 6-figure job, and people are going, now that's not to say, right, okay, so his wife and well, he was off duty, Remy. His wife and kids suffered trauma. I get that. Okay, so I get that part. But what they're just saying is just, contagious carry is just, I think I'd have an issue if he was being hailed a hero too. Um so there's a lot of things. We're gonna go ahead and watch an interview from Chloe. True crime. So thank you. Uh he's one of the top, that's based on community members, so yeah, so maybe don't quote on that. We're gonna go ahead and watch an interview from Chloe, and then we'll continue because there's more. Don't worry, there's always more in this case. Um, so let's go. Chloe is, this is about as sad as it gets as well. Oh, let me also correct one other thing, okay? So it was said that he shot through the window and came in the class. So what actually happened, based on what we're gonna hear Chloe says, is, well, I mean, his wife's a teacher too, so but yeah, I mean, there's trauma, but what happened was, for some reason, and I can't figure out why, you have to lock the door to the classroom from the outside, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the student said, and we're about to hear it, is that Miss Garcia, Irma, the one whose husband died. Holy crap, Brandy! And that in that area, yeah. um, she went to lock the door. Mo, well, that's up for debate. He claims he is, they claim he's not. So who knows? SA, yes, except for this town just had $4.4 billion. So let me give you a statistic. I just read this. Robb Elementary has 600 kids. It was estimated that 564 or something like that of those kids were of low income range. But taxes were raised and 40% of their municipal budget and $4.4 million went in to building the SWAT team. Just saying. So, anyways, she went to lock the door from the outside. As she was locking it, the shooter grabbed the door with her. She ran to the back of the room. We're about to hear it from Chloe, where she covered the friend's head of Chloe. And Mrs. Garcia said, "No, no, no." The shooter turned to the little girl and saw her phone and shot her. Chloe, the baby we're about to hear from. I know, Brandy. I know, Brandy. Chloe, the baby we're about to hear from, just moved from Louisiana with her family at spring break. She says, and we're going to hear it, that Amory, I think was her name, she said, was the only big friend she had. So we're going to go ahead and listen to what Chloe has to say, because she gets to have a voice too. Whoops.
One week has passed since Uvalde changed forever. 21 innocent lives stolen in a mass school shooting. Uvalde holding the first funerals today, saying a final goodbye to two little girls, Maite Rodriguez and Marie Jo Garza. Maite, described as smart, charismatic, and kind. She dreamed of attending Texas A&M Corpus Christi and becoming a marine biologist. And Marie Jo Garza, remembered as a hero, using her phone to call police for help. The Girl Scouts honoring her with a Bronze Cross for her bravery. Tonight, live team coverage. Alicia Yavis with how the community is processing its grief 1 week later, and Matt Houston with another change in the story police are giving about what really happened at Robb Elementary.
Sorry, y'all, wrong one.
As the funerals continue in Uvalde, Texas, for the 19 children and 2 teachers killed, reporter Henry Ramos introduces us to Chloe Torres, who survived the shooting while her best friend did not.
A brave 10-year-old.
She was really the only big friend I had.
Remembering the last moments with her best friend in class.
We were told that we were going to go into lockdown.
The terror was about to begin inside room 112.
My friend was saying that it was really normal and don't be scared because nothing's going to happen.
Chloe Torres is new to Robb Elementary. Her best friend, Marie Jo Garza.
I didn't feel safe without her.
The gunshot started. Chloe and all the students hid to try to survive.
I was kind of looking at the ground because I was scared.
The fourth grader says the gunmen entered their classrooms of Miss Irma Garcia and Miss Eva Mireles. The 10-year-old recounting what her teachers did.
She ran over to us, sat down, and started covering my friend. She started saying no because he said you'll die. And she shot my friend with the phones. And he shot my teacher, Miss Garcia, and Miss Vidales.
At one point, the brave little girl turned her friend's phone off.
I didn't want anybody else to get hurt.
Chloe walked out of that class without her BFF. Amory, considered a hero, was one of the students who called 911. She is also one of the 19 students killed. A week since the shooting, Chloe went back to Rob, a place where she met her best friend, the place where she lost her.
I would tell them I love them and I'm going to miss them.
Torres also says she would tell Miss Garcia and Miss Mireles today she loves them and they were great teachers. The 10-year-old was carried out of the school covered in blood. She says she believes shrapnel hit her forehead. And one last note on her best friend, her favorite color was purple, which is why Chloe dyed her hair and has purple nails. She says she's honoring her BFF.
I can't. No, I get it, Remy. um, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. I just this is why I'm not. Do y'all understand? This is why I refuse to stop talking about it. I thought, okay, there's a press conference, right? The senator's speaking. I said, man, I better jump on because I bet you everyone else is covering this already. Do you know how many people I saw covering this? And this isn't to say I mean, I am kind of buff. Look at that. But do you know how many were covering this that I saw? Creators. You know how many people were talking still about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard? Too many. So, in fairness, I do know it's a lot for people. It's a lot for people. I get it. It's a lot for, creators, and it's okay to know your boundaries. But I cannot stop this. I can't stop talking about these kids because if you read, guys, if you read the Reddits and stuff, I'm on my soapbox again. If you read, Alex, so you know what? If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to do a brief recap. Alex, so it has been determined and confirmed as of today, again, different day, different story. That's what we're talking about. That by the senator that the 911 dispatch went to the PD. It never went to the UCISD. And was never relayed to the chief of command officer. That's one. Two. This makes me tear up every time because I think of my husband. The teacher, Mrs. Morales, what wasn't told to us is that her husband was the resource officer, Alex, the resource officer who drove by the shooter and for the rest of his life has to live with that. And when oh my goodness, whew, Alex, his wife dying, called him to say that she was dying. This is, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a big baby when it comes to this stuff. I am a really big baby when it comes to this stuff. And he had to be held back by multiple police officers as he was going to try to rescue her. I can't, oh my gosh. And now I know why his daughter was so upset. I can't stop talking. I can't look at their faces and stop talking about them. I can't see their picture an hour before they died and stop talking about them because this community has been not listening, not listened to for so many years. This isn't the only thing in this community. They're dealing with human trafficking. They're dealing with a lot. One thing I don't know if you heard in the short interview that Chloe said was that her friend said this is okay. This happens all the time. We have intruders trying to get in and stuff. Like what you got to understand what the grand scheme of the political world and what they want us to do is to stop talking about it. And there's that one woman on the media who always has all these interviews, which is amazing. And she's still there. And she said, I will not leave. In fact, she did not leave to go to Oklahoma last night. And God bless those people. Um, okay, good, Alex. This is, whew. Um, because she said people are sick of the carnage now. So people are sick hearing about it. So media starts to drop off and then people stop having voices. Funerals are done, the stories are over. We've heard from the survivors, and people go away. And then no one gets talked about anymore. And then it gets swept under the rug. So we are due to have a press, hopefully, the report the senator said. The senator wants everything released in public. Oh, thanks. I'm okay. I just feel bad. My heart breaks for him. What the senator said he will get to the bottom of, exactly, Diana, is the fact that 19 officers, 19, stood in the hallway for 45 minutes. For 45 minutes. 19. I read from a past somebody that worked on the Parkland. Oh, thanks, MJ's life. No, no, other teacher, true crime. Yep, 19 and not one of them acted. And I can guarantee you let that husband in for his wife, that shooter's dead because I bet you in that type of situation, he's like, yeah. Um 19 stood in the hallway for 45 minutes. And the senator at the state level who was talking today, who was extremely emotional throughout the thing, said, I will find out every single officer that stood in that hallway. I want to know if it's UCISD. I want to know if it's my guys, because he's in charge of the state police. He's like, I want to know every officer, border patrol, that stood in that hallway for 45 minutes when he gunned down 19 kids and 2 adults. Um, he even said, I get being afraid. I get being afraid. But so I was reading, so I was reading about Parkland. Um, Parkland was the horrible one in Florida at the high school. It was alarming because what was interesting. One fact that was interesting is this same thing happened similar in Parkland, and there's an investigation happening right now with that shooting as well. And yeah, Alex, yeah, I know what you're saying for sure. Amber, you're right, and I'm not going to let him. I will dig until I will dig. I will join this one other reporter that won't leave Uvalde, and I'll sit by the school as it's being tore down, and I have to. Rob's okay. Thanks, Candy Kisses. He's struggling today. Eliahana's funeral is today, so please say a prayer for their family right now. And I'll post the other funerals today. Oh, so the guy at the Parkland that worked on, nope, excuse me. Oh, guys, focus me, okay? Focus. Boston, focus me like you do Lana. Okay. First things first. Parkland shooting had this similar thing happen. The police were criticized. Do you want to know what they said? It doesn't matter. Well, all the shooting took place in the first 4 minutes. What did we hear in Uvalde? Think about it. The first, most of the 100 rounds happened in the first, yep, 4 minutes. I'll leave that right there. Okay. Oh, Brandy, yes, yes, exactly. So there's still so much more, y'all, that's come out. The coroner has spoke. I know, Alex, right? 4 minutes, coincidence or easy thing to say? I guess we'll see. But when I saw that, I was like, hmm, did you just go through all the stories to see which ones worked? Sorry. Okay. Okay, Boston. So Boston be like, focus, focus. All right. So I do want to mention this man because he needs prayer. The coroner who, so they're such a small town that people have to play multiple different roles there. So the justice of the peace actually has to play as the coroner on some days and stuff, um, or whatnot. So unfortunately, he knows a lot of the parents of the victims. He went to school with a teacher. I read his story today in downright tears. Uh, he said he dreaded when that phone rang and he knew it was his day. And he said nothing, he came right out and said that he needs post traumatic stress disorder counseling now, because he can't get it out of his mind. It's something he'll never, he said it's like nothing he's ever seen before. And to describe the scene he walked into, what I didn't quite comprehend is, and this is a little bit, can somebody put trigger warning so I can pin it, because I always forget to do that. um what I didn't comprehend is the damage that an AR does until I read his report. Okay, so when I think of an AR, you get in your mind movies, you get in your mind of movies that's like, thank you, that's like, hey, NTs, that's like, I mean, one bullet, boom, they're gone, they run off, and he said that an AR could decapitate a person. And now I know why some kids were identified by DNA. He said people have a really wrong view on the damage an AR will do to somebody. He said it could decapitate an adult. And the reason I'm saying this is because he wanted this shared. And he said, now I want you to picture at close range what the damage an AR does to a little child with small bones. I don't think we can fully comprehend what he had to do. The teacher, Mrs. Garcia, oh my gosh, NTs, are you serious? Right there, guys. NT's apple bottom used to cut trees down by shooting an AR, if that tells you anything. He was lifelong friends with Mrs. Garcia. They went to preschool through high school, and he had to walk in and see her holding a kid. And I'm not saying this for dramatic effect, as this has to be known. Guys, these babies weren't put together with one tiny bullet hole into a beautiful casket specialized by a guy in Texas. These children were brutally killed. And this Chloe Torres, who watched her best friend die, and these other kids that are surviving, do we understand what they saw? You don't get that out of your head. We talked about it. They're formative years right now. Formative years. Remember we've talked about that before? 6 to 12 years old. This can't be shoved under the rug for this purpose because these kids have a lifetime of trauma. See, Remy, and I didn't know that. We all get this movie type thing, movie type thing. Boom, boom, boom. There's barely any blood. They're done. Um, so the other thing that's interesting is that the first lockdown notice, yeah, Alex, he said even worse, even worse. Remy, I wasn't going to because I want to be sensitive, but then I talked to Rob and I look at his family, what they're going through, and then I think of that teacher with her husband, and I read the Reddit comments from community members saying they'll just forget us, they'll just forget us, and then I'm like, nah, it's all coming out. It's all coming out because I was given a platform, the creative platform, to share this stuff. I'll keep talking about it. If there's 5 people in here, I'll keep talking about it. So the lockdown, this is the other thing that the senator's furious about. The actual lockdown notice, just lockdown, y'all, came 12 minutes after the first shot. Shot. Alex, before I forget, can I get with you? I'll email you maybe. Sorry, guys, I got to change the subject for 1 second because I would like you to come on if you would next week to talk about summer. Actually, Amber, hold on. I'd like to argue this. Wow. Oh my gosh, Amber, are you kidding me? Yeah. So you all, do you want to see this? 12:06 right here on my phone. No one knows it like you, Alex, and I'd rather, you know how I am with facts. I want you to be able to share. Yeah, Jill, and and in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have given false hope to the families, and I do understand that perspective from some people, but um, I Rob was so desperate, you know. Okay, 12:06 p.m., guys, 12:06 p.m. Rob Elementary. 12:06. First 911 call has come in now from the baby at 12:03, Maya, who just watched many of her teachers, friends, and teachers shot to death. It's 12:03. She calls in. 12:06. This Rob Elementary. All campuses are under a lockdown status. Please know at this time, all campuses are under a lockdown status due to gunshots in the area. Yeah, MJ's life. Feel free to drop your link and drop. Thank you. Yep, drop Alex's link. The students and staff are safe in the buildings. Now this, I don't cuss much. This pisses me right off. Yeah, the Alex, that'd be great. Does that bother anyone? 12:06, the baby is called in at 12:03 and the school district says that they're on lockdown but the kids are safe? No, ma'am. No, sir. No freaking way. You have got to be kidding me right now. And the senator is furious because it was a lie at 12:06. It was a lie. The kids weren't safe. There wasn't gunshots in the area. There was gunshots in a classroom that killed people. Hey, Miss Ellie. Oh yeah, Remy. I mean, you're talking. This is 12:06, guys, and it's come out that there's a shooter in the area. No, 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 no. 11:43. So 11:43, 12 minutes after he enters the school, they did do another lockdown thing at 11:43. The gunshots in the area. They come back out at 12:06. Gunshots in the area. It's awesome. Awesome. 12:20. All right, yeah, I guess at 12:20, almost an hour. We'll go ahead and say that Amber, yep. We'll go ahead and say that now there is a shooter in the building. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and say that now at 12 o'clock. At 12:20, almost an hour after the. Nah, no, that ain't going to work. That ain't, as my son says, nah, nah. Let's talk about some more stuff that I've seen. Oh, oh shoot, it's not going to let me send that, is that? There's more. So then there's a little girl that we don't know about. I know, right, Remy? In the area is when he was at the funeral home shooting, not when he's in the building and already killed people. And I don't understand why at 11:43 they said that the school was on lockdown, but all kids were safe. But then the call comes in at 12:03 and they make at 12:06 the exact same message saying students are safe. I understand calming the chaos, and then I understand downright lying. And those parents deserve the truth right then. Wow. Exactly, Incy. Then there's a little girl who was in the bathroom, and she says she's in the middle of washing her hair when she missed the teachers yelling and warning the children there was an active shooter in the building. So as she stepped in the hallway, Melkor said she stepped into an exchange of gunfire between the shooter who was running down the hallway and law enforcement. It's alleged that they ended up finding her in a fetal position in the bathroom. I'm trying to find out where the door was because if the door was where I think it was on the one side, then he would have had to been running from it. It's just a whole mess. There's this video that I wish I could. I remember. Hang on one second. I've got it. That I wanted to play you guys so you can hear something. Bear with me. Why am I? Okay, hold on one second, guys. This will be worth it, I promise. Um, keep talking amongst yourselves while I pull this up. Hmm. Crap, where'd I put it? Hold on, it's coming. I have to go through my messages, which there's a lot. Okay. All right. So I want you to listen. I got it up now. I want you to listen to this thing right here, this video that I cropped out. Okay? Because I want you to listen, pay very close attention to the cafeteria ladies.
I saw Anthony. You know what?
Yeah, Remy, that's when you do a lockdown, not when they're yeah. You can hear shots, guys. You might not be able to. When the cafeteria workers look back, he shoots again. Now try to listen very carefully. This is the video that leaked on Reddit. Okay, so here come them. Those ladies worked in the cafeteria. Right there, he shot again. Yeah, just chilling out outside the police. That's awesome.
It must have been in the field back there because one of the coaches, her mom was looking in the cafeteria and said they pointed at her, grabbed students and ran to the backfield. Can y'all stay back behind those vehicles? We're going to start blocking it off.
Did you guys hear what they said?
Where the shots came from? They're saying from behind the back. So the back building, but they were inside or the outside? On the outside? On the outside, but they said the teacher was okay. The cafeteria is right here. Yeah, so
I'll tell you what it said. How come I can't shut it off?
That road that comes down at that light down.
Okay, hold on a second, y'all. Listen very carefully.
Okay. Y'all know where the shots came from? They're saying from behind the back. So the back building?
Hold on.
Mom was looking in the cafeteria and said they pointed at her. Coaches, her mom was looking in the cafeteria and said they pointed at her.
Did you hear that? It said, I know, Black Cat. It said, the mom said it was in the cafeteria and he pointed at her. We've not heard anything about a cafeteria, y'all. And the reason that's important is, do you remember when I showed you the cafeteria is way the other direction? It's at the other end, like way in the back. So if in fact he was in the cafeteria and the restroom is where I need to find a map. Hang on, y'all. I'm sorry, guys. It's just I got to be accurate for you. My kids are going to come home and be like, again with this? Okay. This is very important. They are true crime, Brandy. All right. So 1 second here, we're going to take a look at this. Okay. So the reason this is important, get out of here, is y'all, this Let me get my face off of here. This is the cafeteria and auditorium. Well, thank you, Alex. Yeah, I have no desire, especially now, like, have to engage in any of that. Okay, he entered here. The ladies say that shots came from the field, which we consider okay, so maybe the shots are over here. But even so I'm guessing the cafeteria, that might be a cafeteria, and this might be maybe there's two, okay? But I know for a fact this building way on the other end, I don't know if you can see my mouse, is the furthest big building towards the road is the cafeteria, okay? I'm assuming that could be the auditorium as well. Um, you can see the circle where he entered, and you can see the classroom in the yellow square of the classes he went in, okay? If he came from the cafeteria and ran, if the door of the bathroom is where I think he would have been running like this, running from there to the classroom, which is a possibility. Now, according to the cafeteria ladies, the mother in there, whatever mother was there for, I don't know, she was there and he pointed the gun at her. We know there's been multiple kids that have said they were in the cafeteria and he was in the cafeteria. We're going to say that's the auditorium as well that hid. Okay. So we have an entirely different setup now than what we were told. And if we remember, there's still a half hour unaccounted for where we are taking the word of the cops that between the first 911 call from that girl didn't come in until 12:03. So we're taking it into account that from 11:30 to 12:03, we're resting on the word of the police officers that he was only in the one classroom, the two classrooms. When there's also articles of classes in 104 and 109 saying he was trying to get in there. This is important because we have to understand if that's the case, he he didn't just barricade himself in a room. That changes the entire situation to him never being barricaded. Hey, Rhodey Gal. If the first shooting, if they're saying that all 100 shots happened in those classrooms, because he went right to that classroom, then why did the little girl not call till 12:03? Okay, benefit of the doubt. Maybe he went into the other classroom at that point. So that's what I think. That's what I think, Black Cat, because that little girl in the bathroom said she saw his feet running. And when she came out, he was running from the cops. She came in. He came in 4 minutes before the police. Schools aren't that big. So there wouldn't be much reason for him to be running unless he was running through the building crazy. Personally, I think he was running around the school. And I think that's how they took the grazing wound. And it says straight up that they retreated. It says they took cover. I don't think he was. All right, cool. Thanks, Alex. I don't think he was barricaded the entire time. I really don't. Um, the shooter, not the shooter, the teacher that propped the door. So Remy, yeah, I don't think so. I truly don't think he was barricaded. Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but based on what we heard out of that straight video out of the cafeteria worker's mouth, that a mother said he pointed the gun right at her in the cafeteria. Okay, and we've heard multiple accounts by students saying he was in the cafeteria. The cafeteria is not barricading yourself in one room. A little girl in the bathroom that they found in a fetal position. said she walked out into the gunfire and he was running from the police. Yes, grandma was. It was confirmed. So I will, I wanted to go. I didn't want to, like, okay, grandma did work there. That came from a top union source. Oh, here come my children. Be ready for my son's opinion. But hi. Um, now, yep, you're right. Layla was. Yep. So now, hey, baby.
What time is my practice?
4:30 or 6.
Today?
Yeah,
So what time do you have to leave?
5 in order to stop at Taco Bell. Anyways, yep. Yep. Well, and remember, guys, so they could open the classrooms to let those other kids out with the border patrol. And I want you to hear me. I am very thankful that they let kids out and they did save kids' lives. But so they could open the classrooms for the with the border patrol and the officers to let them out, but they couldn't without a master key open the classrooms with the shooter. Now, in fairness, maybe those classrooms weren't locked, which is an issue in itself. But I also don't understand why you had to lock the door for the rooms from the outside. That's very weird to me. But hey, that's what the little girl said. The teacher that propped the door open finally spoke out. Um, there's something interesting though about what she said. So she said that he I know, honey, but you're not gonna wear this. So one thing she said that was interesting was the way she worded it. So she is remained still all blurry because she wants to remain anonymous. Obviously she's getting many threats. Again, you know how I feel about that. I think it was awful, but police did that and threw her under the bus and put her safety at risk for 7 days. But that's just me. Um, the way she worded it. Oh, I've got to get the exact wording. I have it up. Um, she said, teacher speaks. Because there's one thing that now it might have been, hey, why are you messaging me?
Because I have to message after this.
I'm not, okay. Nehemiah, I'm on the phone. Or I'm on a live. So yes, so she was getting and this makes sense. So the next day there was a dance, an end of the school year dance that following night. So she propped the door because supplies were coming into the back. That makes sense because if the gym and stuff is that way, I could see why they would come into there. So um come on, where is that? Well, I'll just give you what she says. She says that she was out there, ran back in, propped the door to get the supplies, saw him, ran to get her phone, came back out, saw that he had a gun, kicked the rock out of the door, and then yeah, and then ran and hid under a counter and called 911. But the way she worded it exactly is she said she kicked the rock, shut the door, and locked it. Now, I think what she meant was probably that she kicked the door and it was supposed to lock. But the way she did say it was that she locked the door. My guess is she, just assumed it would locked. I don't understand. I also have a very hard time understanding why the cop whose wife. Yeah, Remy, they should. Oh, okay, Jill, that must be how she meant to say it. Yep, there was multiple teachers trying to lock the door from the outside. Um, and typically it should. I don't understand too. It does bother me why the officer, and this is now confirmed from multiple sources, whose wife was dying and she was on the phone to him, and he was ran to get to her and was tackled and kept from going in. I have an issue that why was the border patrol guy with a shotgun let in? It just it doesn't make sense. And so the senator, they just put out, the senator says that the commander at the scene was not informed about the 911 calls coming from the children inside the building. They're calling it a system failure. Um, the issue with that, the senator says, is that if it was going to Uvalde PD and there was a multiple Uvalde police department inside that and one of those 19 people in that hallway, they knew. They knew. And at that point, there is no question of what should have been done. It is now being said that the chief thought it was a hostage situation. Okay, but that still doesn't make the kids safe. All right, I'm gonna look real quick. I don't see it, BL. Maybe, Jill. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Stephen McCraw, the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety, said Arredondo believed the situation had turned into a hostage situation and made the wrong decision to not order the officers to attempt to breach the classrooms as 911 calls were being made. Okay, wait. Isn't a hostage situation, do they consider that barricaded situation? Or that seems like two different things to me. And that just came out 17 minutes ago. It, am I wrong? Is there something I don't know? Is a hostage situation The same as a barricaded situations. So now he thought it was a hostage situation. Oh, oh my gosh, guys. This is Parker's. This is Parker's. I can't. Somebody mark this down. Stupid, stupid book. He thought it was a hostage situation. So they tried every phone number linked to the shooter, but he didn't answer. I mean, I know that if I'm a shooter, call every number I've ever had. I'll pick up. Now, they have called Mr. Reyes a hostage, but that doesn't make much sense either. That I don't think. I think that's just something they. But yes, exactly, Remy. So barricade and hostage are two different things. And based on what the school district sent out, okay, I'm looking. Exactly, Amber. Based to the school district, I still didn't get it. But yeah, I'll keep waiting though. I I guys, I just don't understand because I, a hostage situation still means that there's living kids. Wait, yeah. Barricade. Yeah, you're right, Amber. Means there's living kids. And so instead of going in, 19 people are in the hallway and they're calling every phone number ever connected to this kid and he's not answering, so they just wait? I, a mother, you know what? A mother came forward of one of the victims. 4 minutes before the police came in, her daughter took her last breath and bled out that whole time. 4 minutes. That's one life. This is insane. This is insane. So now it was a hostage situation. Yeah, Jill, exactly. And to be quite honest, at that time, if you know like people are dying and you're hearing all those shots, like at that point, there's no like, okay, here we go, guys. This just released. Search warrants reveal how much firepower the teen gunman had. Um, blood stains. Oh, from his. Okay. All right. Inside Ramos' car, troopers swabbed blood stain on the top right center console. Took DNA. Found a black plastic duffel bag containing a Smith& Wesson M&P 15. Okay, so we had another one. And 10 unfired. So that's 2 now. And 10 unfired magazines, 9 additional unfired magazines, and 3 unfired cartridges throughout the vehicle on the floorboards, under and on the seats, and 3 fired cartridge casings outside and inside the vehicle. Wow. He had a lot of guns. He had an iPhone, a Samsung Galaxy, and a Sonim radio phone. A bus. Yeah, Sandy. They're saying multiple kids let out and probably could have been saved. Wow. Wow. Hey, Lana. That is nuts. Amber, you think so? You think that's what the I think so too, Brandy. I didn't think that before. Statistically, I did look as well that most school shootings happen from kids between under 21. He did talk to a student, his cousin, the week before. Well, that's the thing that Lana said is she said, so now we know he had two very, very expensive guns, like 2 grand a piece. So we're talking 4,000. I don't know how much ammunition is though. So somebody fill me in. But I'm gonna guess we're talking, I would say $6,000 to $7,000 overall he spent on these guns. And I want to know then what is Wendy's paying him and how long was he saving? Because holy cow, that's a lot of money. So details that have been retracted from the police. Let's finish. Let's just figure out here what's um so far the things that have, oh right. Okay, so Lana says 8,000. Perfect. Thank you. That's a lot of Wendy's, y'all. So what they've backtracked in, they said that the resource officer, authorities first said the resource officer confronted the gunman. It was further deemed that the resource officer wasn't on campus. What we have since learned today is that the resource officer was in fact married to the teacher, one of the teachers that was killed, and she was dying on the phone, and he ran to get to her and was knocked to the ground and stopped from going in by his colleagues. Yeah, because he was sleeping on the couch. You're right. It said he was sleeping on the couch for the last few months. Um, and the officer Lana, I have not heard yet that there's a high speed chase, but that doesn't mean that no, because the resource officer, they didn't even know he crashed until um he hit the ditch and got out with a gun and shot at the funeral home. He didn't have a license, so I don't know if he was just a terrible driver or what. Um, they said that the door had been propped. That turned out to be false. She locked the door, or she shut the door. It just didn't lock. They said the gunman was wearing body armor. He was not. He was wearing a plate carrier vest, but he did not have plates inside. At first, they said the shooter was how long the shooter was out. Shooter was outside. Last week, they said he crashed his vehicle and he was outside the building for 12 minutes. But McCraw said later that week the shooter was inside the school within 5 minutes of crashing his vehicle. McCraw initially said the law enforcement who first arrived on campus after gunfire was reported did engage immediately with the shooter, and he was not contained in the classrooms. McCraw later said that though 3 police officers, actually it was turned out to be 7, entered the building only minutes after the shooter, he was already locked inside the classrooms firing rounds. That isn't true. That isn't true. That isn't true. That isn't true. If that isn't true if what the girl is saying is true about the bathroom. That's not true then. If that's what the girl saying about the bathroom that she saw him being chased by police is true, then this statement is not true. Um, 2 of the officers were injured with grazing gunshot wounds as they approached one of the doors to the connected classrooms. Why the on-scene commander did not consider? Yes, it was Jill. He was living with the cousin and her son. It was her son, the 3-year-old. Oh, they did, Lana. It was interesting. So I'm putting my own timeline together. Um, Lana, this is a typical situation where income and race has pretty much made them be ignored for the last ever, and I won't allow them to be ignored anymore. Um, Last week, the guy said it was the wrong decision. That he had barricaded. Now we're hearing that it was a hostage situation. They said they did not breach the classroom sooner. Wow. Wow. Yeah, truth in Atlanta, there is one reporter who is like me right now that is like, I will not leave until truth comes out. Yeah, Jill, he apparently had a domestic disturbance. Now they went all big and said grandma was had run-ins with the law before. Y'all, in 1993 she wrote a bad check. Okay, that's not a run-in with the law. That's all she's got. So they kind of went above and beyond that. Mom and dad have been in and out of prison. Um, I don't know what grandpa did. They all have so grandpa and grandma have a different name because his last name is Reyes. Okay, thanks, Lana. His last name is Reyes and her last name is Gonzalez. So, and then they have people living with them that is her granddaughter named Salazar, and it's just all a whole bunch of I don't know. I do. It does say they all have run-ins with the law, but they said that about grandma too, and she wrote a bad check in 1993. That's what they're talking about. So, um, grandma did work at the school in years past. That was confirmed by the top union representative. Again, I have not heard that come out in the media or from police, which is kind of weird because that's a pretty big deal. I'm looking that grandpa up. You get a lot of info too, guys, listening to the people of the town. That's because they know firsthand, right? They've dealt with this. Um, let's see here. What? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Her last name is Martinez. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's what I was looking for. We do know he shot grandma because she wanted him to pay his cell phone bill. Yes, to the best of my knowledge, Jackie, he did. Mom and dad have made just, constant excuses for him. One was he had his reasons. Okay. Oh yeah, Lana, thank you. Oh, thank you. You're sweet. Yeah, this is wild, y'all. So nothing we've basically heard from anything has been true, basically. Um, I love you too, uh, Lana. I just feel so bad for that husband that couldn't get into his wife. Yep. So yeah, at 12:03, 11:43, a lockdown message was sent to parents via Facebook and cell phone that said that it was a lockdown, there was gunshots in the area, but all students were safe in the building. 12:03, a 911 call. Okay, 911 call goes in. 2 miles, Lana. 911 call goes in to by the little girl. We now know that went into the PD, the local PD. She says there's still people alive. Please come. All that stuff we know that she said at 12:03. 12:06, Uvalde School District, Robb Elementary. Messages the same exact message again that they did at 11:43. At 12:06, saying shots in the area, all kids are safe. Meanwhile, many of them have already been killed. 12:20, 12:20, almost an hour after the shooter has been in that building, a text and a Facebook post go out and say that he there is an active shooter in Robb Elementary. And this is released at 12:20. For 45 minutes. Oh, thanks, Brandy. 45 minutes, we know that 19 police officers stood in a hall, allegedly. We know, based on what we've heard, we know, based on timeline, that there is 11:43 to 12:03. Well, no, from 11:30 when he enters that school to 12:03, we have no idea what really happened because everything that they say has happened is not what the students are giving account of. The students in the cafeteria are saying that they saw him. The student in the bathroom is saying she saw police chasing him. The police are saying that when they got in there, he was already in the classroom and that they received grazing wounds through the wall, is what it was said. Through the wall, they received grazing wounds. I don't think, in my opinion, he was ever barricaded, and I think that, yep, 14 minutes after the initial 911 call, I think he went on just like the black cat said earlier. I think he ran rampant through that school. They got in there. I think he looked at them and shot at them. They got grazed because a police officer said that when he shot, they took cover because they were overpowered. So I think that they got scared and they retreated or something, because there's a half hour that we don't know what really happened. We don't really know what happened with the whole thing. But, well, we do know from 12:03 on, thank goodness, because we have the little girl that kept calling 911. Jill, yep. So then they say barricaded, and now it's saying, I hope not, Lana. And now they're saying that it was hostage. So, who knows? It's just all so messed up. But, I tend to go with the kids on this situation because it's pretty raw for them. They have nothing to lose, no political agenda. Um, I still can't. Yeah, I'll look again, but it's still not there. Yeah, I still don't have it. So, Remy, I do think that's possible. The only thing that I'm confused about is the mother in the cafeteria saying he pointed the gun at her. I looked at the cafeteria and there is a door, but the window is kind of like it's like one of those slim windows, I think. And you could even the window, but they got those things on them like they you can't really see very well into them. And that one girl continues to say that he said, come out, kiddies," and they were hiding behind the auditorium curtain. So it's just not all matching up. Um, just one of them of the dispatcher, Lana, trying to get the police to understand there's a child on the phone. Um, yeah, can one of the mods drop the email? If not, it's in my about section. So I do know, y'all, that I'm gonna get off here soon, but I will be monitoring all day yesterday, and I'm still researching. I've been going back again. Lana, listen to this. Don't go anywhere yet, Lana. Listen to this. Parkland area shooter that's under investigation. Okay, I looked at this. They're saying that in Parkland, the majority of his killing happened in the first 4 minutes. Okay, now guess how many minutes Uvalde police said that it took where most of the shooting happened in the first 4 minutes. That's a pretty big coincidence in my book. It's a pretty big coincidence to have that time frame of 4 minutes. So some of me goes, did literally they just take the 4 minutes and say, run with it? It just, I hope there was can't. You know what, Remy? I don't know because the only footage we've seen of him is the one from the girl across the street. Um, I do know that the senator, and I'll be monitoring all day yesterday, has said that he better get a report tomorrow and that he wants to be able to address it and give a full report tomorrow. He said he doesn't care if the final report doesn't come for months, but he wants a report, an accurate report of what happened in there and what they found, an accurate report of the videos, everything that's going to be released to the public tomorrow. Exactly, Remy. 4 minutes seems to be the big number. And then he said he will come out and address it, but he is hoping that they will basically man up and come out themselves and tell the truth. So That is supposed to be tomorrow. Um, yeah, Lana, I do have one of the parents, well, no, one of the relations coming on after the funeral at some point, probably next week. He wants to, obviously his Ileana's getting buried today, so obviously, but um Reddit has been super helpful with people from the community. But yeah, 4 minutes is real suspect to me. Lana, you got to look up some interviews. Look, I'll send you some kid interviews. I know, Lana. I know. That's what I think, Randy. Remy. It really to me sounds like he took bits and pieces of several school shootings and put them into place. And I usually too shy away from cases that involve until I start talking to Rob, but also having a fourth grader, I think, but just seeing the injustice that's happened there for so many years and hearing them say that their taxes were raised, that 560 some kids out of 600 are considered low income, but their taxes were raised so that $4.4 million could be invested into a SWAT team. And remember how they said they had active shooter training with the kids and stuff like that? Parents are coming forward and saying, I don't know what kids, because my kids never had active school training, shooting training. So I'm just saying, these people, based on what I've read from them and others, is they haven't had a voice ever, and they've pleaded for people to listen to them, and no one will listen. And I just I can't let it go. Can't. But all right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna hop off of here. I gotta get ready for sports tonight and stuff. And all right, Lana, it is your cup of tea. You're good at finding like little things. Thank you. And please tell your kids, y'all, no matter if they think I do BL. I just can't remember what it is, so I'll have to find it. um, have your kids, if they see something, say something, you know? Oh, Lana, he had two AR rifles, so I mean that's like really expensive. He had the exact rifle I think that Parkland had. All right, I gotta focus. All right, y'all. Well, thank you. We will catch up here later. Have a great day.